Hello, I am Jansi from Spire Lab, Electrical Engineering Department, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And the title of my presentation is Voice-Based Classification of Patients with Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis, Parkinson's Disease and Healthy Controls with CNN LSTM using Transfer Learning. This presentation is scheduled in ICAPS 2020 under poster session in the section Speech Analysis and Coding on Tuesday, 5th May. First, we'll start with some introduction about what is ALS, what is Parkinson's disease, and the motivation behind this work. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, called as ALS in short form, is a progressive motor neuron disease. As we know that nerve cells act as a medium to transfer the information from brain to spinal cord and then to all body parts. ALS occurs when these nerve cells that transfer information get damaged or die and results in loss of muscle control. The symptoms of ALS are muscle stiffness, a hard time in holding items, muscle cramps, swallowing problems, speech difficulties. And the sequence of these symptoms varies from one patient to another as the disease progresses. We call Parkinson's disease here as PD, which is a progressive brain disorder. The neurotransmitters that are present in nerve cells in brain produce a chemical called dopamine, which is responsible for movements. If these nerve cells get damaged, the dopamine level reduces and results in movement issues. The symptoms of PD are tremors in hands, arms, legs, stiffness in limbs and trunk, slowness in movements, difficulty in swallowing and chewing, speech difficulties. Similar to ALS, in PD also the sequence of the symptoms varies from one patient to another as the disease progresses. Life expectancy of people with ALS or PD is as follows. 50% of ALS people live for 3 or more years, 20% of ALS people live for 5 or more years, 10% of ALS people live for 10 or more years, where PD affected people live for 10 to 20 years after being diagnosed. Currently, there is no specific laboratory test to diagnose ALS or PD, and the diagnosis is based on medical history of about 11 months and neurological examination. Apart from not having a specific test to diagnose, there is even no medicine to cure ALS or PD. But early detection will prolong the survival, maintain quality of life, and reduce the complications. The motivation behind this work is to reduce the diagnosis time using automated methods, using speech, and to develop a mobile application that helps in early detection and follow the progression of the disease. This is a plot showing speech waveforms and respective spectrograms of an ALS patient, PD patient, and healthy control. Here the subjects are repeating the syllable PA in 1 second duration. As we observe here, ALS patient is able to repeat only once in a second, PD patient is repeating 4 times, and healthy control repeats for nearly 7 times in the duration of 1 second. There is work done in literature on speech of ALS patient where they studied syllable rate and maximum phonation duration as a discriminative feature in classification of ALS patient using fractal analysis. And also studied the performance of 3 different speech tasks, namely spontaneous speech, diadochokinetic rate, and sustained phoneme production in automatic classification between ALS and healthy controls using SPM and DNN. The challenges in this work are, as we know, data collection from ALS and PD patients is often tedious, making a large corpus development a challenging task, and automated methods require a huge amount of data to train a best classifier. The goal of this work is to study the performance of the classifier in low resource condition and also study the benefit of transfer learning in such scenarios. Coming to the proposed approach, this is the block diagram for the proposed approach using CNN LSTM. As shown in the second row of this figure, the caustic features are computed from a given speech signal and segments of 2 seconds are made. These segments are given to the CNN LSTM layer, that is CNN LSTM classifier, and the classifier consists of one con 1D layer, one max pooling layer, 2 LSTM layers, one dense layer, and one soft max to give probabilities. Like this, we will get segment level decisions where we further perform majority voting on these decisions and get a final decision for entire speech signal. In this work, we used a machine learning technique called transfer learning, where weights of a neural network model trained for a particular task are utilized as the initialization of weights for a model with a different task. Here it means that we are transferring knowledge of PD in classification between ALS and healthy control and vice versa. This type of approach is useful during unavailability of large amounts of training data. This is the block diagram showing the classification task using transfer learning. Here the weights from 1D CNN layer and LSTM layers of ALS versus healthy control classifier are used for initializing the weights of PD versus healthy control classifier and vice versa. The main objective of these experiments are to compare the performance of CNN LSTM to ALS classification with those of baseline schemes based on SPM and DNN. Transfer learning approach for two-class classifications, ALS versus healthy control, PD versus healthy control in low resource data condition. The third objective is to study the three-class classification task between ALS, PD and healthy control with CNN LSTM. And coming to the data part, data is collected from National Institute for Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore. The speech data is recorded using Zoom H6 recorder at 44.1 kHz sampling frequency. For this work, we use speech data of 60 ALS, 60 PD and 60 healthy controls, where each case consists of 30 male and 30 female. Data is taken in matched proportion in terms of language, age, severity and gender. In this work, we use three different speech tasks. First task is spontaneous speech, in which the subject speaks about a festival they celebrate and about a trip they have been, each for a minute. And the second task is sustained phoneme production, where the subject produces sustained sound of 5 vowels a, e, o, u, a, 3 fricatives s, sh, f, each for 3 times in succession. And the third task is didacokinetic rate, where the subject repeats pa, ta, ka, pataka, badaga as fast and as long as possible, each for 3 times. The duration of each task is mentioned in the brackets. Now let us look at experiments and results. Here is the experimental setup. We considered 5-fold cross-validation setup, where each fold consists of 12 ALS, 12 PD and 12 healthy controls for both baseline and the proposed approach. For the proposed approach, we used MFCC as features that are computed with window length of 20 milliseconds and a shift of 10 milliseconds. As there is study on ALS versus healthy control classification using SPM and DNN, we consider it as baseline for proposed CNN LSTM for ALS versus healthy control classification. Suprasegmental features computed on 2-second analysis window from MFCC statistics, such as mean and standard deviation, are used as features for SPM and DNN. Radial basis function is used as kernel function in SPM, and DNN consists of 2 hidden layers with 128 units in each layer and output layer with 2 units and softmax as an activation. Now let's look at the results. First, I will present the results comparing CNN LSTM with DNN and SPM for ALS versus healthy control classification. This table reports the performance results of CNN LSTM in comparison with SPM and DNN with different speech tasks in terms of average and standard deviation of the classification accuracy across 5 folds. In this PON task, we observe an absolute improvement of 7% and 5% over SPM and DNN respectively. While the performance of DIDK task remains the same compared to SPM, there is a 2% improvement over DNN. In the phone task, the CNN LSTM achieves 9 to 10% improvement compared to SPM and DNN. The improvements with the CNN LSTM could be due to better modeling of temporal pattern from the acoustic features by learning the suprasegmental features in a data-driven manner, unlike fixed statistical features used for classification in SVM and DNN. Secondly, let us look at the results of using transfer learning approach in two-class classification in low resource data condition. The performance of the neural network based models depends on the amount of data used for training. In this experiment, we investigate to determine whether PD data will benefit the ALS versus healthy control classification and vice versa, especially under low amount of training data. For ALS versus healthy control classification, we utilize the data available from PD to train a CNN LSTM model to classify PD versus healthy control. We further use this model as an initialization for training model to classify ALS versus healthy control and vice versa. In this figure, bar height indicates the average and the error bar is a standard deviation of classification accuracy across 5 boards for ALS versus healthy control and PD versus healthy control classification with random initialization and transfer learning approach. In the first row, the blue color bars refers to ALS versus healthy control with random initialization, and yellow color bars refers to classification accuracies of ALS versus healthy control with transfer learning from PD versus healthy control. Similarly, in the second row, the blue color bar refers to random initialization and pink color bars refer to classification accuracies of PD versus healthy control with transfer learning from ALS versus healthy control. We observe that at 100% of training data, the performance with transfer learning in ALS versus healthy control and PD versus healthy control for all speech tasks remains similar to those of random initialization. While the amount of training data is varied from 10, 25, 50%, we observe that there is a reduction in accuracies for both random initialization and transfer learning based approaches. But interestingly, for transfer learning, on average, it performed consistently better than random initialization in most cases, that is 23 out of 24. Now the results of three-class classification, ALS versus PD versus healthy control with CNN LSTM. This table reports the accuracy values with ALS versus PD versus healthy control in the first row and ALS versus healthy control, PD versus healthy control accuracy values computed from three-class classifier in the second and third row. While comparing the two-class accuracy with respect to bar graph, we observe a drop in the individual two-class performances in both ALS versus healthy control and PD versus healthy control. So we further fine-tune the weights of ALS versus PD versus HC model with ALS versus HC data and PD versus HC data separately. The accuracy values of these fine-tuned models have been reported in last two rows. When these are compared with 100% training data accuracy in graph, interestingly, we observe an absolute improvement of 2% on spawn task using fine-tuning for both ALS versus healthy control and PD versus healthy control tasks, while the performance did not change much in the case of DIDK and phone. Coming to the conclusion of this work, CNN LSTM works better than SPM and DNN for ALS versus healthy control. Transfer learning at low resource training data show that the data from ALS benefits PD versus healthy control classification and vice versa. Fine-tuning weights of three-class classifier, that is ALS versus PD versus healthy control, a two-class classification, that is PD versus healthy control and ALS versus healthy control, gives an absolute improvement of 2% classification accuracy in the spawn task over random initialization. Part of our future work is to investigate CNN LSTM and transfer learning techniques for severity estimation of ALS and PD patients, and also to examine the scientific rationale behind such benefits due to PD in classification for ALS and vice versa. These are the key references. Authors thank the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India for their support in this work. Thank you. If you have any questions or suggestions, please write to us at spirelab.ee@iisc.ac.in. Thank you.